Welcome to Business Buzz with your host, Frank Hellring. Do you own a small business, or does that small business own you? Are you seeking increased sales, more loyal customers, lower operation costs, and brand loyalty? If you're interested in elevating your brand and expanding your reach, then Business Buzz will put it all together for you with expert guests, resources that make sense, and your opportunity to be heard. Get ready to call in with your questions and comments at 1-866-472-5790. That's 1-866-472-5790. Business Buzz is out to put the buzz back into your business. Here's your host, Frank Hellring.
Hey, can you hear the buzz? Welcome, wherever you may be. You have found Business Buzz. I'm your host, Frank Hellring, and we're coming to you live, prime time, on the Voice America Business Channel. And we are joined today by my fabulous hostess with the mostest, Nanan Devere DeRosa, out of the fabulous city of Las Vegas, the neon of neons. How you doing, Nanan?
I'm doing absolutely amazing. I couldn't be better. I know it's hot in Vegas, but who cares? I don't live outside. I live inside. So everything's 100%.
Well, there must be a westerly wind because it's hot over here, too. You know what I mean?
I'm sending my heat over to you so we can share it together.
Absolutely. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I had a brownout yesterday. Lost my air conditioning at an inopportune time. It was not fun.
I bet. But you are not as hot as we are. We hit, I think, 113 yesterday.
Oh, my goodness. That's absolutely amazing. Ninan, I just got to get this on the air. You had a date last night in 10 years. This is so cool.
I had a date last night. I believe it was a really cool date. He's such a nice guy. And we had a lot in common about the stock market and the business and everything else, because he's in real estate, very high-end real estate. And of course, I've been in real estate for years. So it really went off. But that's my first date in probably, I don't know, 10 or 12 years.
On a scale of 1 to 10?
I'm giving him an 8.
That's not bad. You know what? I think somewhere down the road we'll have him call in live, right?
I don't know. We're gonna go.
Wouldn't that be cool? Okay. Anyway, we got to move on to our PSA, and you well know what it is because we have a great love for veterans on this show. And if you're a veteran out there and you hear my voice, or you know a veteran, or you just simply care about veterans, and you dang well should, because they pick up weapons, they go to far-flung battlefields, they put on the BDUs, take off their civvies and put on the BDUs and defend your freedoms and mine in downtrodden, many times oppressed, regime-oriented countries. And they're being murdered in their beds, in veterans' hospitals, and we've got the documentation to prove it. We've been having this up for the last 2 years because I interviewed an Inspector General lead investigator 2 years ago who basically put it out that this is occurring in all places, our veterans hospitals, which are tax funded by your tax dollars. So let me tell you something. You need to go to Veteran, VETERAN, Murders, MURDERS.com. One more time, Veteran, VETERAN, Murders, MURDERS.com. That's a landing page. You will hear the replay of the show that I interviewed Bruce Sackman, former Inspector General, lead investigator. Also, all the information there on how you can get in contact with the VA if you think you got suspicious activity with your loved one flat on their back in a hospital, or you want to get access to Bruce Sackman's book, which is Behind the Murder Curtain. Wow, is that a title and a half? It's all there. So go to Veteran, VETERAN, Murders, MURDERS. Wow. I don't know what's wrong with my tongue today. No, it's really off. Anyway, basically, that's it in a nutshell. Get to that website. Let's stop the killing. Well, we have another fabulous guest joining us today from Dr. Andrea Adams Miller. His name is Mike Duffy, and he's been a business owner for over 2 decades. He ran the Calgary AB franchise for a worldwide computer repair franchise from 2005 to 2021. In 2021, he started 2 startup companies from scratch. Startup 1 is Don't Get Hacked. DontGetHacked.Ca and provides 24/7 cybersecurity consulting to business owners worldwide. Boy, is that sorely needed. He also has a 24/7 technology support for both PC and Mac users, and the Don't Get Hacked Security is a worldwide tech support company. He spends his time between his Canadian office, his New Jersey office, and recently opened a Dubai office. Wow, amazing. He is also a CTO of Mupo Entertainment, that's MUPO, entertainment.com, where he provides fractional chief technology officer oversight, planning, and tech support for all business operations. He's married to his wonderful wife, Julianne, for over 17 years, and he has one preteen daughter, Penelope. How you doing, Mike Duffy? Welcome to Business Buzz.
I'm amazing. How are you today?
Doing great. Boy, I'll tell you, this is a first on the show because you happen to be in a automobile, right? 9 times out of 10, we have Dr. Andrea Adams Miller somewhere in this nation behind the wheel of an automobile. Ninan, this is a first, boy. Why don't you take it from here?
It is a first, but it's a great first because I love to practice on things that, let's make them work. So, Mike, we're going to make this work because, number one, I know you just stopped your car because there's nothing moving and I can hear clearly your voice. Welcome to our show, and it's great to have you on here. And I think what you're going to talk about, which is hacking, and we've got a big hacking problem going on at the moment with some technical company that does all the wages and all this crazy stuff. I don't know. Do you know about that? What's going on there, Mike?
There's been a lot of recent hacking, so I know that I may not be aware of the one you're talking about, but last week all the company that provides all the software for car dealerships, they were hacked. Yeah. So,
that's the same one because
okay,
they can't get their papers through to sell cars.
Exactly. So you know what? This is not surprising because you hear about these big hacks every couple of months. And it might be car dealerships, it might be hospitals. And at the end of the day, what's happened is everybody relies on software, but the big corporations have outsourced all their software and their tech support to other parts of the world. That's not a problem, but usually security, very low budgets. And you're believing that the security, the outsourced company is providing you the best tech support. And we know that just isn't ever going to be the case unless things are audited and tested thoroughly, right?
Absolutely. So, and you have your company, Don't Get Hacked.
Exactly.
And so this is your company that you. So how long have you had this company, Mike?
I started August 1st, 2021, so right in the middle of the pandemic.
Wow, I'm not going to say you had tough times because you had a time where you were at home, so you had lots of time to actually put it all together and also sort of, see what's going on in the world. And since the world was very open at that particular time, it was probably a great time for you to start.
Well, it was. And of course, I ran that previous franchise for 17 years, but of course, I was running somebody else's business. So I got 17 years experience running a franchise and having employees. And then during the pandemic, I was talking to so many people over Zoom, right? Because we're all at home. I was talking to all these people over Zoom and I'm like, wow, you know what? I need to start a new business where I'm just helping people over Zoom or FaceTime Messenger because everybody needs proper technology support, especially when you have a small business.
Absolutely. And you took the advantage of something that was very, very down and everyone was, I can't do anything and I can't work and I can't do anything. You took the opposite of that and said, hang on a second, I can make a business out of this. And you did. You made it work.
I can expand because I'm like, I don't need to be, and of course, every city goes through different economic changes. So in Canada, it was really hard, right? Because they shut down everything for 3 years in Canada. And I'm like, well, wait, I still have to make money and help people because I love helping people with their technology because I've got so much experience. And I'm like, I can just do this on these phone calls with people like you and just say, hey, go to the store, buy this, get your backup straightened out, make sure you got strong passwords, call me 24/7. I have a call center. They answer 24/7 no matter where you're calling from the world. So that's what we do. We help business owners no matter what time of day it is.
There was another thing that popped up just before you came on air, and it was Dubai. Now, it's a funny thing that I've noticed every time anybody mentions the word Dubai, they go, whoa, Dubai. What business are you doing there? And they get this big sort of thing of money because everybody thinks Dubai is just full of money. And you have an office in Dubai.
Well,
Yours is the technical side.
exactly. So, exactly. So because I've been meeting people on Zoom, I had a couple, acquaintances who need some consulting, and I'm like, okay, perfect. We'll go. We went last October, and we fell in love with the city and the climate and the culture, traditional Western values. So my wife thoroughly enjoyed it, and I decided that if I wanted to expand my business, it's low taxes, no personal income tax over there, and I'm like, you know what? It's probably I'm 2 years into running my business, and it's probably the best time to expand over. What better place to go in the Middle East where there's a lot of business, there's a lot of business relocation, there's a ton of people over there to meet and see if I can make it as an entrepreneur, right?
Right.
That's really, that's my skill set. So,
Mike, you're jumping into an arena that is fraught with a lot of concern right now with this hacking issue, okay? Because, I mean, we just are a global-centric, business community now. And my number one
exactly.
question is, where is most of these hacking attacks coming from, to your knowledge?
Well, the interesting thing was when I landed in Dubai January 16th, like we went for 30 days. We loved it so much. We extended it for 2 months. It's also cold in Canada. So, climate was better over there. But as soon as I landed, I went to all these hacking conventions because I'm like, you know what? I need to know who's there, what type of information is on the other side of the world. And they told me that Dubai or the United Arab Emirates, which is the country Dubai is located in, it's one of the most scammed countries in the world. And I thought it was Canada because
Really?
I know that you get the joke of the telephone scammers like, hello, I'm calling from Microsoft or Apple. Like I know Canadians get scammed all the time because they call me and I'm like, you know what? It's a worldwide problem. So when I've dealt with businesses getting hacked, it's usually been from European entities, but I know I have family members working for, business, computer-related businesses in America, and they've mentioned, the normal state-sponsored stuff like Russia or China. So at the end of the day, I think there's since everybody's global and everybody can work from a laptop, I realistically think that there's so many hackers out there because at the end of the day, people were, with the pandemic and people being forced to do electronic learning, everybody's just been doing, what have they been learning over the last 5 or 10 years? They're
And also
working,
what you're saying, yeah, I'm interrupting you, but what you're
no
saying
worries.
is everybody, I mean, literally everybody, the kids, everybody has a computer, but
Every,
you don't have to be in any definite place to have yourself and your computer together. You could be in a car. You're in a car right now. So you could be anywhere in the world with your computer. So it doesn't mean that you're only going to be hacked in Canada. You're only going to be hacked here because you're hacked actually all over the world. I mean, it's a worldwide
exactly.
thing now, isn't it?
And we've all been trained to use VPNs. So you train yourself to use a VPN. Like when you go on vacation or you go to the airport, you go to a hotel, you're likely connecting yourself to a VPN to be
What's
anonymous
a
when you go check.
VPN? Let our audience know what that is.
A VPN is a virtual private network. It's software you put on your phone or your computer to protect your identity when you're connecting to like your bank account or important things. So we've been trained to keep and be anonymous when we're traveling with our own mobile devices. Well, the hackers are doing the exact same stuff, right? So where are they really? They're either state-owned, they're either state-sponsored by a government, and I'm sure all the governments are investing in cyber warfare, but then you're going to have the 16, 20-year-olds who've grown up the last 10 years on YouTube, and everything's on YouTube, right?
Yep. And they know everything that's working. They know more stuff than I'll ever know, that's for sure. But that doesn't mean to say that I'm not ignorant, that people that I can employ, people like you, to take care of my hacking or to ask you how how to readjust so that I don't get hacking. So you are the person, you're the go-to for hacking.
That's why I picked the name Don't Get Hacked, because it's just easy and it's never going to go away. We're all using computers. We got over that learning curve of the video content with the last couple years. So, we just have to make sure that we have strong passwords and backups and be aware that everybody's trying to scam us, right?
Can I
Mike,
ask you one question? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Mike, as we go to our first break here, sorry to cut you off, Ninan, but
No worries.
to a break. But I remember, and I'm going to date myself, right? I'm going back probably 15 years. I was in Washington, D.C. Back when I was doing a lot of work with the NFI. I picked up the Wall Street Journal, and I mean headlines, right? Social Security Administration hacked, right? 17 million files hacked, okay? This isn't something new. Okay.
No.
This is something that is ongoing. And more importantly, if it's starting to filter down to the small business community, we are so glad that you're on our show. But we're going to take a quick break here. You're listening to Business Buzz with Frank Hellring and my incredible co-host, Ninan DeVere-DeRosa. And we've been mixing it up with Mike Duffy, who's got an incredible company called Don't Get Hacked. So don't even think about changing that dial. I'm telling you something right now, but we need to talk a little about California Senior Guide, CaliforniaSeniorGuide.com. You know what's amazing? Right now they are in rework of their entire website and their entire communications and technology, because all the emails we've been sending from this show over there to get more information about advertising in a magazine blew up their old platform, which is really kind of cool. I kind of like that, So in about 2 weeks, they'll be back up. And when they are, you need to go over there. Probably going to have an email pop up still, because I know the CEO of that company is old-fashioned. But leave your email. Somebody will get in touch with you about an eighth page ad, a quarter page ad, a half page ad, or a full page ad like we have in that magazine, along with Voice America Health and Wellness Network. And let me tell you something. If you've got a product or a service, you want to get it in front of 1 million eyeballs every single time they go to press, you need to go to CaliforniaSeniorGuide.com today, because let me tell you something. Seniors have money. Honey, they have money. $3.5 trillion of disposable earnings. They sit around, if they're out of their house, in these cubicles and get communicated to every single day of the week on these big white screens that these senior centers put in there. And what do you think they're doing? They're pulling out their pocketbooks. They're pulling out their wallets, and they're spending money. So go to CaliforniaSeniorGuide.com today and find out how you can get between the pages of an incredible magazine that'll usher you right into that incredibly big market. Well, we've been mixing it up with Mike Duffy. I've got Ninan by my side. We're going to be right back in 2 and 2 after our advertisers have a chance to take a look at you with more buzz for your business.
Moda Business Solutions is your one-stop shop with a focus on time and cost savings. We let you, the business owner, focus on running your businesses instead of searching for quality products and services. Cash is king, and we strive to put more cash into your pocket. Moda Business Solutions provides top-of-the-line products and services, connecting you with trending companies. Are you ready to grow your business? Call Moda Business Solutions at 858-251-4640 or visit us online at modabusinesssolutions.com.
At LaTip, in everything we do, we believe in the importance of small business success. And we believe in helping small businesses reach their growth goals. The way we help small businesses is by building relationships, training on how to expand those relationships into closable leads, and providing technology to efficiently interact within those relationships. We just happen to run business networking meetings. Want to come to one? This is the power of LaTip. Visit LaTip.com for more information. That's LETIP.com.
We're always looking for guests, resources, and business promotion. Would you like to be a guest on the show? Do you have a resource that can help small businesses increase sales, lower costs, and amplify brand loyalty? Do you have a business that needs to elevate your brand and expand your reach? If any of these sound like a fit for you, you need to partner with us. Call us at 877-3-NOW-BUZZ. That's 877-366-9289 and discover how Business Buzz and Business Watch can take your message and company further. Again, give us a call at 877-3-NOW-BUZZ. 877-366-9289. Business Watch is your outreach to feel the pulse and increase the buzz in your business community. Invite Frank to be a speaker at your next event. We can create a live promotional video with you at your next event to brand your brand. Visit BiznessBuzz.com. Having Frank come speak at your event can motivate your team and your customers, which means he can also motivate the growth of your business. It's time to take it to the next level. Visit BiznessBuzz.com and watch things grow. You're listening to Business Buzz with your host, Frank Hellring. To reach the live show, please call 1-866-472-5790. Again, that's 1-866-472-5790. Or send Frank an email at info@businessbuzz.com. That's info@BIZZNESS buzz.com. Now, back to Business Buzz.
Hey, welcome back. I'm your host, Frank Hellring on Business Buzz. Alongside of me, Nina De Rosa. We're interviewing Mike Duffy today of Don't Get Hacked. Mike, got a question. Everything's going to move to smartphone, right? Sooner or later. I mean, laptops are going to become a Sopwith Camel, a thing of the past. Everything's going to drive off these smartphones. How safe are they? Okay. And more importantly, you've got this situation right now where hacking is really dialing up businesses at different levels. Okay. I'm very concerned about that from a small business standpoint, because this is not an if situation I think we're talking about here, right? It's a when.
Exactly. And what I say is just don't be fearful of it, because you know what? Technology has been changing since we all got home computers. So we went from desktops to laptops to phones and tablets. If we we don't even know what phones are going to look like in a couple of years, right? Maybe we have no idea what any technology companies are going to come out with. But what I would say is always have passwords and have unique passwords for every website or app you're using. And just have everything documented. Like if you are using it for your business, know what apps you're using, what companies you're using, because it's so easy to get scammed, or somebody sends you a text message or an email or phones you. Like if you don't recognize that company name, like call them back what ends up like, but just don't be scared, but be vigilant, because at the end of the day, if it doesn't sound right, or somebody's trying to give you free money, or they're telling you your device is infected, like call a professional. Just don't fall for the first person telling you that you have a problem, because I know what happens. Customers are always looking for free help or whatever, and they're going to go on YouTube. Just because you Google a phone number or a business like HP or QuickBooks, just because you Google that business name and look for a support phone number doesn't mean those are even legitimate phone numbers on the internet, because everybody can pay for everybody.
Hey, Mike, that's something new that I don't think people realize, that you legitimately, phone this number and suddenly it's not the right one. But I think people need to be more, call the number back, which is one of the greatest things. Well, let me call you back.
Exactly.
To find out of who they all are. But giving information out is probably one of the most important things you could tell people, Mike.
Exactly. So for instance, I know like people call me all the time after they've been hacked, because they go on Google, search for I've been hacked, my name, my company number shows up and all that stuff. But people like, hey, I just bought an HP printer, and I Googled HP on Google looking for a support phone number, and I called them and they asked me for credit card. They got, they scammed me. And I'm like, just because a support phone number shows up on the bad guys can spend money on ad dollars and try to trick you.
Mm-hmm.
I get that with QuickBooks, HP, Microsoft, Apple. So this is why it's always nice to check with, a trusted person, that does do technology support, or if you don't have that person, me now, because we'll get you the right phone number. I do a lot of searching around.
What's been the hardest thing that you've had to cure of hacking that has been presented to you, and all of a sudden you've got this hacking thing presented to you that you've got to sort out? What's been the hardest?
Usually when anything to do with financials, because people will be contacted by what they think is their bank or their credit card company, or QuickBooks, like the accounting software you install on your computer. We had an incident 2 months ago where we had just sold a customer a new computer, installed everything for them, suggested they update their QuickBooks to 2024 from whatever version they had. They called me. They're like, QuickBooks has been on my computer for 3 hours. And I'm like, that doesn't even make any sense. Hang up now. They had gone onto QuickBooks or Googled QuickBooks, got a scammer's phone number, given them credit card details. That scammer got onto their computer and was really close to locking them out. Like, they logged into online banking, all that stuff. And it was like, wow, I realize at that point, I now have to ensure that everything we suggest our end users do, that we're holding their hand the whole way, because I can't even trust you if I tell you to go Google a phone number, because now I don't know how many scammers are paying for Google AdWords and impersonating QuickBooks.
Yeah. So what's the greatest advice I'm sorry, go ahead, Frank.
No, I was just sitting there saying to myself, most companies are gravitating to running their operations, especially from the field, from the smartphone, okay? Because the laptop is just, it's cumbersome, right? I mean, it's just easier to whip that smartphone out when you're standing there waiting for your rental car and do something, okay? And here's the issue. I mean, if you're a publicly traded company, you got shareholder equity, on the line, which, is a big deal. And then the other thing is, let's talk about intellectual property. Okay. Intellectual property, that type of theft could be absolutely devastating to a company. So are you telling me that the smartphone can get hacked?
Definitely.
Nothing, I guess.
Everything, this is why Apple and Google and Android and Samsung always have security updates, because they know as soon as they put code out, somebody's going to figure out a way to, you'll hear stories about Apple or Google removing apps from the App Store because those app developers have lied in their application and put an app on the App Store. And then they find out there's, it's leaking personal info. Like, there's always going to be somebody to find a way to get in. And this is why I suggest people, I really don't like when my end users go buy used gear, because you just never know who owned it before. I had a call recently like this where somebody had mentioned that their Android phone popped up a screen telling them it had been stolen. And I was like, well, where did you get the phone from? And I had to ask them a bunch of questions. They eventually admitted they got it off Facebook Marketplace. And I'm like, okay, but did you erase it before you set it up? They're like, no, we just plugged all of our accounts in. And I'm like, well, but with an Android device, they can be tied to a Samsung account. And if somebody wants to do something malicious and they still have access to that phone, they can lock you out. And of course, that person did not have passwords or backups of any of their data. Like, we told them that, unless that phone somehow gets magically unlocked, they are out of luck completely. So then I gave them some suggestions to take their SIM card out, go buy a brand new phone from, the cell phone store, and just not buy used gear, because you just never know. Unless you erased it and installed your software from scratch, you don't know where that phone came from. You don't know if it's stolen.
Which is the worst? Is it the laptops or the phones? Which is the worst that's being hacked? Probably the phone.
I think it's still easier with Windows or Mac to have those hacked, just because you can, normally with the phone, people get convinced to type in a password or use their, the face scan. Like, a phone's going to be encrypted, where a computer is not necessarily encrypted, and people aren't necessarily using passwords on their computer, but their phone's going to be in public with them, right? So generally they're putting a password or unlocking their password with their face or their thumbprint. And as soon as you have a password on your phone, it's automatically encrypted, where it's not the same way with a laptop. So, but I'm saying everything can be hacked, no matter how new your software is. I'm like, if you're reusing passwords or you got that a device from somebody else and you didn't make sure it was, erased and clean setup for you, you don't know what you're using.
So, Mike, that word hack is not anything new, right? Okay.
No.
But at the same point in time, I'm sitting here asking myself, what's the learning curve out there that you're running into, particularly with small businesses, okay? Because, let's say the guy's got a pizza store, or he's got a butcher shop, or he's got something where he is absolutely inundated, right, for 8 to 10 hours a day, hasn't got too much time to think about every time he grabs his phone that somebody's possibly listening in, right? So what is the learning curve that you are running across with small businesses, particularly, and the fact that they even are aware of this or know what to do about it?
Well, it's, a lot. Most people have a little bit of technology experience now because they've had, cell phones for a couple, at least 10 years, give or take. So they're getting, usually what happens is it's a huge, they're going to run into an issue where they lose their phone, it's stolen, it broke, or they got hacked. And each of these incidences just kind of compound and they become more aware of all the potential, emergencies, disasters, bad guys out there. But you know what? Everybody's going to get hacked. Everybody's going to set, if it's like cryptocurrency, right? Like, and anybody who gets started with any of that stuff, you're only going to learn once you make a mistake and lose it, or you get scammed or something, or you're like, okay, I've learned my lesson. Don't, everybody told me not to do this. I still did it. I lost money, whatever. I'm going to, just take that. Hopefully when you have those little lessons in life where you're going to learn from them, hopefully they're just not devastating, like losing pictures or losing financials. If it's a little bit of money, like couple $100, okay, you learned your lesson. I'm just hoping business owners, you need to learn all these lessons in order to understand all the risks out there. So, somebody owning a pizza store, like they got their point of sale machine to worry about. They got their, phones, all those Uber Eats and all those places actually ship you a tablet. So your order's coming in on a tablet and that tablet's not supplied to you. Like you didn't get that. You didn't buy that tablet yourself. Uber Eats has sent you that tablet. I tell business owners, I'm like, if you're going to do any banking or any financial stuff yourself, have your own devices and just, if anybody ships you a device like Uber Eats or, whatever, just use those devices for that one particular application. Don't use them for personal use because you just don't know what's on them or how they're tracking you.
So if I was, out there putting all my stuff together, I have very little actually on my phone. Would you advise people for their business side of life and their banks and all their very personal cards and everything to have them on their computer more than to have them on their phone?
Well, it just depends. At the end of the day, I just like business owners to, make a paper list of all the services, all the businesses, like all the services that they're subscribing to, like their banks, credit cards, line of credits, all that stuff. Have it all documented, have different passwords for each system, and just be, at the end of the day, you can't tell people how to use technology, right? They're either going to use a laptop or an iPad or an iPhone, or they may have multiple of those devices and, just, be diligent. If somebody's pressuring you for something, just ignore it until you, are ready to like deal with that situation. So, people may ask you for, hey, donate to this, or can I borrow money for this? Just like, think it through and don't never be in try not to be, try not to be reactionary, right? Like think it
Great
through.
advice. You're telling them great advice. In other words, check them out, who they are, what they are, even if you know, still check it out.
Research.
Yeah,
Exactly.
research.
Mike, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I'd like to drill down a little bit into your company because, we got about 4 minutes before the next break, but just very quickly, the word trust, and when I say it on the show all the time, it's pretty much non-existent in business, okay? And it's birthed a baby called uncertainty, and that's even more disturbing, all right? You've been out there since 2021, which is fairly new, right? Okay, who's your competition?
Well, I'm in the industry where there's a ton of computer guys, right? So you're gonna hear in the industry, you're gonna hear the words break fix. So guys who show up, companies who show up to fix your stuff when it's broken, they'll fix it. And then you'll either hear about managed service providers, so companies who have businesses on a monthly retainer. And at the end of the day, there's so much competition out there. But I thought, hey, rather than call myself ABC Computer Company, I'm going to call myself Don't Get Hacked, because at the end of the day, our logo is a hacker. I want you to feel intimidated, and I want you to feel intimidated that you don't want to trust anybody out there. And if you do need to trust somebody, you're going to trust the guy with the hacker logo, because we know, I've been in the industry. My company's only 2 years old, but I've been in the industry for 20 years. I've seen all the bad stuff out there. So yes, if you need basic computer help or website help, I can point you in the right direction. And then if you need more advanced help because you've been hacked, or somebody just keeps getting, you think your ex keeps getting into your bank accounts or your credit cards, but you're not really sure, let us do a little bit of investigation, because I get calls from all over the US, Europe, Middle East, and people are like, there's this weird stuff happening. And I'm like, well, let's take a look, because maybe you knew somebody a couple of years ago, they worked on your computer. Maybe they put some maybe they left some footprints behind, right? Or
Mike, I'll tell you what's amazing is the fact, and it's very telltale, okay? The fact that you own a domain called Don't Get Hacked, that alone speaks volumes as to the fact that, you are in a space that I don't think has a lot of competition, right? Okay. Wow. Anyway, we got to move to our next break. You're listening to Business Buzz with Frank Hellring and Ananda Vidarosa. We are interviewing Mike Duffy of Don't Get Hacked today. Well, we're going to talk about 2 minutes about the company that actually owns this show you're listening to right now. And I just happen to be a co-owner of that company, and it's called Certainty, CERTAINTY, team, TEAM.com. If you want to find out more about this show, you simply go to that website, click on media, scroll down a little bit, and you'll see my smiling face and Neon DeVere DeRosa's smiling face on our backdrop of our show, and some information more about what you need to know about Business Buzz and Business Watch. But you'll also find 21, count them, 21 resources for large, medium, and small business within that realm, known as CertaintyTeam.com. So if you're dealing with issues like marketing, communications, how about reduction of operational costs? Or more importantly, how about putting money and dollars back in your pocket instead of paying them to Uncle Sam? You need to go to Certainty, CERTAINTY, team, TEAM.com, and find out what you're missing. We have now close to 100 marketers all across America. We are fastly becoming nationally scoped, and we're going to be in your town or village real soon. So go to Certainty, CERTAINTY.com, and find out what you've been missing. More importantly, what can make a difference in your business today. Well, we've been mixing up with Mike Duffy. Don't get hacked. Hey. And don't go away, because we're going to drill down and find out more about what he's doing out there. I've got Ninan by my side. We're going to take 2 and 2 to have our advertisers take a look at you, and we'll be right back with more buzz for your business.
Moda Business Solutions is your one-stop shop with a focus on time and cost savings. We let you, the business owner, focus on running your businesses instead of searching for quality products and services. Cash is king, and we strive to put more cash into your pocket. Moda Business Solutions provides top-of-the-line products and services, connecting you with trending companies. Are you ready to grow your business? Call Moda Business Solutions at 858-251-4640 or visit us online at modabusinesssolutions.com.
At LaTip, in everything we do, we believe in the importance of small business success. And we believe in helping small businesses reach their growth goals. The way we help small businesses is by building relationships, training on how to expand those relationships into closable leads, and providing technology to efficiently interact within those relationships. We just happen to run business networking meetings. Want to come to one? This is the power of LaTip. Visit LaTip.com for more information. That's LETIP.com.
We're always looking for guests, resources, and business promotion. Would you like to be a guest on the show? Do you have a resource that can help small businesses increase sales, lower costs, and amplify brand loyalty? Do you have a business that needs to elevate your brand and expand your reach? If any of these sound like a fit for you, you need to partner with us. Call us at 877-3-NOW-BUZZ. That's 877-366-9289 and discover how Business Buzz and Business Watch can take your message and company further. Again, give us a call at 877-3-NOW-BUZZ. 877-366-9289. Business Watch is your outreach to feel the pulse and increase the buzz in your business community. Invite Frank to be a speaker at your next event. We can create a live promotional video with you at your next event to brand your brand. Visit BiznessBuzz.com. Having Frank come speak at your event can motivate your team and your customers, which means he can also motivate the growth of your business. It's time to take it to the next level. Visit BiznessBuzz.com and watch things grow. PPP, COVID-19, SBA, is there a way? It's time for Business Watch, where your voice matters. Call into the show at 1-866-472-5790. That's 1-866-472-5790. Or drop us an email at info@businessbuzz.com. That's info@BIZZNESS buzz.com. We know you've got something to say. Now, here's Frank Hellring, Business Watch, where your voice matters.
Hey, welcome back. I'm your host, Frank Hellring, now on Business Watch. This is the segment of the show where we open up the phone lines in Phoenix and allow you, our live listening audience, to call in live and mix it up with us. So go to 866-472-5790.